Hello, Jesse Good here, and today we're taking a look at the LEGO Jurassic Park T-Rex Rampage set, which is massive. It can barely fit my review station, by far the biggest LEGO set I've ever reviewed. This has 3,120 pieces, it retails for $250 with 6 minifigures, and this releases the 19th of June 2019. Now, LEGO gave me this early as a review copy to review for you guys, so thank you so much, LEGO. Now let's take a look at those minifigures. So the first minifigure is John Hammond, which the design of this is so welcome because we haven't ever gotten him before in LEGO form, and he's such a key character to the movie. I love that new face print and simple torso printing that fits him very well. Also, this amber staff is a really cute little build. Didn't need to make any new pieces or anything there. Works perfectly. And he even has some back torso printing. Next is Ian Malcolm, which this isn't the first time we're getting him. He also appeared in a Bricktober pack, which unfortunately I forgot to bring that minifigure down. That one is different, same outfit, but this one doesn't have the glasses, and it's more from a specific scene, which you can see this alternate face here and the sweat dripping and everything. This one is from when he injures his leg. So at the front, you actually have the injured leg there. What I don't like is this torso print. Look at that. It's the same quality problem they have with the Buzz and Mercy minifigures. Ugh, looks bad. This is the first time we're getting Dennis Nedry, which, he didn't say the magic word. The design of this is perfect in my opinion. Love how creepy his face looks. And he does have a great torso printing, which is super detailed, even down to the Jurassic Park logo there. His back, facial, and torso printing is fantastic. This is from a specific scene as well, where he gets the Dilophosaurus acid in his face, which is basically his death scene. The last of the exclusive minifigures is also an exclusive character, which is Ray Arnold. He's not like a big character in the movie, so I don't know why they put him over the lawyer. I guess because Sam Jackson is popular now. This was really before he was famous. But he has some great torso printing with lots of detailing and color there. Also some great dual molded legs. And a face print that is pretty darn detailed as well and useful outside of this situation. His alternate expression has a very shocked face, so that's neat as well. For the non-exclusive characters, we have Alan Grant, which the design of this uses the same torso and face from the Raptor Jurassic Park set last year. Would have liked a different facial expression since he already is one facial expression less than a lot of other characters, since he has the hat that doesn't cover the back of his face. It's not a big deal though. He has the dinosaur claw there. And at the back, some more torso printing. And Ellie is the same from that Jurassic Park Raptor set that I was just talking about with Alan. Same face, same torso, same legs. Only difference though is that she has a different hairpiece in this set instead of having it in a ponytail. But I do like the printing and everything on the legs, the dual molded legs, the torso, and this facial expression, which looks perfectly like the actress Laura Dern. There's a really well-crafted little stand for the 6 minifigures where each of them just stand across these 1x2 jumper pieces. And there's even a little baby dino at the end here. Nothing special, it's one that appeared in a lot of the Fallen Kingdom sets, but still just a cute little inclusion. I mean, I wish it wasn't a sticker, but it's cool that they give some facts about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It is weird that it says Jurassic World as well. It just seems like Universal wants to brand every Jurassic set as Jurassic World or every Jurassic Park as Jurassic World, even though this is something based off the Jurassic Park movie. There's 2 massive builds. Just almost don't fit in my studio, so bear with me. And first, we gotta take a look at the T-Rex. Come on. This Tyrannosaurus Rex is massive, measuring over 27 inches or 69 centimeters long. But I also appreciate how articulated this dinosaur is, with a mouth that can close, a tongue that can be pulled out, and you could push it back in if you don't want to display the tongue. You could rotate this head a little bit to the left and right. It's not really meant for rotation. Rather, you can move this neck up and down, as it uses one of those rotating disc pieces for the build there. And the design for the dinosaur looks like it exists in the LEGO world, even down to the head, where we have this 1x1 circular tile. And I love the striping that continues throughout the set. Again, we showed the articulation with the mouth and such, but just inside there, they use these nice little teeth pieces. And you won't really see me taking a look at the opposite side of a lot of the dinosaur, or whichever side I'm on, because both of them are mirrored, so it's the identical build on both sides. That gives it a more realistic look. And at the top of this dinosaur, It's very smooth using tiles and other sloped pieces. And we'll move on from the head to the arms, which are properly tiny, using a miniature ball joint at the base, and then another one where the hand is at, and also these claws here, which are clipped on via just a small clip piece with the handle. Those can be moved independently, as well as this little hand section and the base. So you get a lot of articulation there, present on the opposite side as well. Also, these legs are very movable, and those hip joints here are key to really getting your position of the dinosaur, because that area is where you could move this whole body so that it either faces down or so that you could make it face up if you'd like, which is pretty heavy. I mean, again, this isn't really a toy for kids, but rather a collector's item to display as adults. But there you go. This one is a more forward pose instead of looking downward. But there's just a lot of articulation going on there. And to get a better look at how these hip joints work, just by removing that leg there, you can see that there's this Technic gear on the inside here, which is built with even more Technic gears. And this moves it side to side and even left to right. It's a really well-made function, grinding these little ball joints at the bottom, and that just attaches to the leg, and that's how this gets so much movement. And how they built the leg is very impressive, using a dark brown version of that round corner piece. Also lots of nice dark tan pieces for the sloped bottom. Like how they don't use too many studs shown so that it gives a very organic look. Which brings us to the feet, and there's one problem I have with these feet, specifically these toe nails here, or talons, whatever you want to call them. These are very, very loose, and a lot of times when I move this dinosaur, they easily clip off. You see, it's not the problem with this actual toe part that's attached via a hinged modified 1x2, but rather these little nails here where they're just attached via one of these clipped pieces on a handlebar. And if they get any movement from the bottom, they push up and easily fall off. That is quite annoying, because there's been many times where I put it on the table and I can't even find this piece because it just goes flying off. An unadvertised stud shooting feature. But seriously, wish they would have improved on that feature. Beyond that though, again, the feet look great. I don't have any other issues here. And the detailing even continues to the one on the other side. And looking behind the legs, I really like how they finished it off using some of these curved pieces. It just gives it a more complete design. And of course, moving from the legs, I want to just show an aerial shot to give detail to the stripes, which they did an excellent job with using sloped pieces and tiled pieces alike. Which the tail section is built with numerous miniature ball joints all the way to this tip at the end. These two can move up and down, but all of these are really meant to be moved side to side, each independently of another, which is actually really cool to get those different poses. And it ends up looking really well. Those miniature ball joints are barely seen. And of course, if you want to get maybe a bit too personal with the dino, this underside has some finish to it too, with some reverse tiles in the middle here, but a lot of bottom sides of bricks and such shown. But either way, that's it for the T-Rex, which I'm not like a master of buildable figures, so I don't have too much more to say here, but let's move on to the gate build. And much like the dino, it is at minifigure scale. It just kind of misses that, especially with the tracks at the bottom, which we'll take a closer look at. And if you put it to the size of a minifigure, that's okay. The bottom section of the front of the build is littered with overgrowth on both sides. Now, this looks great, but it isn't really secured for some of these pieces. I always have problems with these little 3-leafed plant pieces. They have a very loose connection, so those constantly fell off. Also, some of these ones that are clipped on at the bottom and these little flower ones fell off pretty easily. I wish those were just a bit more secured. It's not a big problem, but it is a little bit annoying. You get a better look at some of the ones on this side as well, which you do get a lot of different plant colors, and those are always usable for mocks. As for the detail of the mud tracks, I love how they came out using a lot of these 1x2 with the modified craggly parts at the end. That works really well and looks gorgeous. Great part usage in my opinion. And these torch builds carry out all the way to the top of the gate, which is present on both sides, giving more to that very iconic Jurassic Park gate look. But of course, to top it all off, they have to have the name of the park, which they use 3 different stickers here Those should have been printed, in my opinion. I mean, there's only 4 stickers in the set. They really couldn't put those 3 and the one on the minifigure board printed. It just seems like an annoyance because you have to line it up perfectly for such a key feature of this build. If they could print junior sets, including the Jurassic World junior sets, you could have just printed these 4 pieces. Come on, LEGO. Before we move to the back, the side of the gate is identical on both sides, and it's pretty cool how they're built using some Technic beams and Technic pins and just putting on these studs not on top techniques for plates. And it doesn't use a lot of pieces. I thought they would use a more organic build for it, but it comes out just as well. So no complaints there, and I like how that's all built. And the back of the build has these little vignettes that are minifigure scale, albeit a bit inaccurate in placement because, yeah, they don't all take place at the back of this gate. It's more of just a way to get play out of this structure. So with these vignettes, let's start at the left side. The first of which is the bunker for Ian Malcolm, which the design of this has some trinkets at the back, lots of crates, some cans, and a little basket, which is where this flashlight goes. And there's a fire extinguisher there, also a cupboard on this left side, and I like how there's a ladder as well. Very quaint build, compact, but represents the scene very well. There's Hammond's dining room here, which has a little chair and a table filled with ice cream, some gelatin, and it's very hard to see, but the existing donut piece from the Simpsons series, the existing cookie piece, and swirl piece, which they use as sweets often. It still looks very delicious and makes me hungry for some sweets, even packed with a cupboard to the right, as well as some tree branches at the back for the wall design. And the last of the scenes to the left is Dennis's demise with the mudslide build, a handlebar at the end to have the minifigure hold on to, shaving cream bottle in the middle, some plant life at the back, and that's kind of a quaint scene. But there's really no way they could put any other scenes above that with such a small, cramped area. So it's good that they ended there, but we still have some at the right. To the bottom right, there's the power shed with Ellie. The design of this blows my mind for one reason. I mean, it looks pretty good, right? But they actually have Ray's hand in here. Yeah, what a violent inclusion. Even has a little bit of blood at that end. So, yeah, you could have that scene where Ellie thinks that, oh, Mr. Arnold, and then, I think that's awesome that they included that. Very bold move by LEGO, but I have no complaints. And if you're wondering, no, that fence wasn't meant to be taken off. That was just for displaying that gruesome feature. And then on the left, there are some pipes here. Actually, speaking of Mr. Arnold, the scene above is his workstation with some nice stickered computer screens. Very retro look to them. And he could just fit on that swivel chair there. And the final scene to the right section is the lawyer toilet scene, which they don't include the lawyer. Oh, thanks, LEGO. But this is actually a really well done toilet. I like how it came out with using the lifesaver piece right here as the rim. It actually works really well. And once again, there's not enough space to put another scene above that, though there is one more scene found in the middle, which is the space for Alan Grant to discover these cracked eggs. Getting that piece once again in white for this little baby dino nest is pretty awesome, and it's a cute build in general. And this little build in the middle has a purpose of opening up the gate. And it's very cool how this maneuvers the whole opening of the gate, which that feature works even cooler when you open it from the front. But that's it for the builds of the set. Let's take a look at the packaging and then the final verdict. The box for this is just as massive as its contents, with a back that has details of shots from the set and different play features. There's 2 huge instruction booklets which split up the build from the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the gate, so that's good for people who like splitting up their builds. It's a great way to get people who don't usually build LEGO into participating in such a big set. And this first instructions has kind of details on the characters and the scenes, and also how they made this iconic dinosaur and gate into a LEGO set, which they highlight the designer and graphic designer. All that's really cool, and I like that LEGO is taking their time to focus on the people who design LEGO sets. So overall, this set is weird. but it's really good. Weird isn't always a bad thing. Weird Al Yankovic is one of the best musicians out there. He made a great song called Jurassic Park, but I'm just trying to say, when people say weird, it's not always meant to be a bad way. There's just some weird design choices here. The T-Rex build is almost perfect. I mean, usually with these brick-built animals, they look very robotic. This doesn't look robotic. This looks like a T-Rex toy, and I love how it came out. Very posable. My only complaint is some of the loose pieces, specifically those little toenails, which are very annoying and come off quite frequently, unfortunately. The build for the gate is very well done as well. I mean, the design of it does have, again, some little loose pieces at the bottom as well with the plant. But beyond that, I like the front of it. The back of it is one of the weird parts because I don't think they needed to put all those little vignettes. It's really cute that they did, but the placement of them is kind of not accurate to the movie. So I don't know if people are really going to display it from the back. And because of that, I think you could have cut those out and just had a more solid build that would have lowered the price a bit. Because I think adding those little details probably bumped it up a couple 10s or 20s or maybe even $30. Beyond that, though, the minifigures I think are perfect. It's the minifigures that aren't included that are kind of annoying. For example, they have a vignette of the toilet scene, but there's no lawyer. It's pretty bad if you ask me. But for that $250 price tag, I think the content of what's included is very satisfying. Love the T-Rex. I think that's a big standout and probably the reason a lot of people are going to buy this. And I would have to rate it a B+ overall. But what do you guys think? This was really fun to review. As hard as it was, I always like putting myself to new challenges, doing bigger and bigger sets. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you once again to LEGO, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.